So first of all, I will be entering my email and also some random password, and after that, after pressing over login, you can see we are now getting logged under our home screen. But if I reload my entire application once, instead of getting transition to our login screen, we are getting transition to our home screen. And if I log out from my application, you can see we are getting transition to our home screen. And if I reload my entire application once, we are getting transition to our login screen instead of getting transition to our home screen. Hey everyone, in this video we are going to take a look over what is shared preferences and how can we use shared preferences under Flutter web and also over Flutter mobile application. So without any further ado, let's get started. So normally what the scenario is, once the splash screen will be completed its duration, the user will be normally redirected to its login view or its home view. So in this tutorial, let's create a way so that once the user closes his application, he automatically stays over his home screen rather than coming back to our login screen. So first thing first, what I really want to do is go under my project folder, and under my library I will be creating a new file known as routes.dart, and in this routes.dart I will be creating some constant value over our routes. So our application shall be containing 3 different routes of splash screen, of login screen and also of home screen. So first of all, I am going to be having a new constant string to be a splash route, and the following thing will be having a route of splash, and after this we should be having a new constant which will be a string of home route, which will be nothing but simply home. And similarly, I can copy the following piece of line, paste it here, but here we are going to be having a login route, and also it will be having a part to be of login. So once we have created all of our routes, let's create a final mapping between the routes. So here we should be having final routes should be equal to a new map, and under this map, first of all, let's have our splash route. Now the splash route shall be having a new context, so here you should be having a context, and the following context shall be throwing a new splash view just like this. And after this, let's do the same thing for home route and also for login route. And once we have created everything, we can go under our main.dart file, and under our material app we should be adding an initial route which will be our splash route just like this, and also we should be adding all the general routes which will be are nothing but simply a mapping between the following route and its value. So once we have created everything, we are now good to go. So once we have modified our material app, we can now do one thing, that is go under our postpage.yaml file, and under my postpage.yaml file you should be getting the following dependency of shared preferences. So under my library I will be creating a new folder known as services, and under my services let's create a new service known as shared preferences service.dart just like this. And here I will be creating a new class of pref service for a short name, and under this class first of all let's create 3 different methods. First of all, we shall be creating cache data for the user. So here I will be creating a new method of create cache. Under this it will be taking some value, but before that let's make the following process to be asynchronous. So first of all, what I will be doing is initializing my shared preferences. Now this thing shall be equal to a new shared preferences dot get instance. Now the following instance is going to be a future, so you need to await for it just like this. And here I can read the following data. So for that purpose I should be writing preferences set a following string. Now for this tutorial we are going to create a login form, but you know what, you can also set boolean, double, integer likewise. So for now we are going to be creating a new key which will be password, that is a user password, and also this password should be requiring a value which will be our password itself. So under my arguments I will be creating a new password just like this, add a semicolon, and we are good to go. So once we have created our method for creating some cache, I will be creating one more method for reading the cache. And so under our read cache method, instead of setting string, we will be simply getting all the string, and it will be only requiring a key, and our key will be nothing but our password just like this. And after this method, let's copy it one more time, and here I will be creating a new method of remove all my cache, and here it will be requiring a remove thing and also a key which will be password. So this will be our complete preferences class that we shall be required. So once we have created the following class, first of all we need to configure our splash screen. So if you observe, under my splash screen I have just some body having an icon, and also I have a timer so that the following timer automatically navigates us to the next screen. So first thing first, what I will be doing is initializing my pref class. So here I can simply say final pref service to be a pref service. This should be equal to a pref service itself, usual thing. And now what I can really do is under my init state, First of all, I will be calling my pref service dot read following cache, and the cache shall be nothing but simply a key of password, just like this. And now once we have done this, we can go back under our shared preference service class, and here I can simply say a variable of cache should be equal to the following data, and under my read cache method I can simply return my entire cache that I have covered. So once we have done this, let's go back. So after pressing dot, it will be giving us then phrase, and under then phrase the value will be nothing but simply our cache. So now what I can really do is remove the arrow implementation and add our angular brackets. So under this method, first of all I can do one thing, that is add an if condition. So here I can simply say if value is not equal to null, I can do some operation. So here if value will be not equal to null, I can simply add a new timer. So here we should be adding a new timer, and under my timer, first of all let's have a duration of seconds for 2 and also a callback. So under my callback, instead of having our traditional navigator, I am gonna be using name routes. So here I should be writing navigator dot of the following context, and here I should be simply pushing the following context to a name route, and the name route shall be nothing but simply our home route if the value will not equal to null. So here I should be writing home route, just like this. So now if the value will not be equal to null, we are simply navigating ourselves to the home route. So let's come out of our if condition, and here I will be adding a new condition, that is else. Else we will navigate the user to the next screen. So here I can simply say else return a new timer, and under my timer, first of all I should be requiring all of this value. So let's copy the following value from this side, paste it here, but instead of home route it should be navigate us to our login route, just like this. Format document first, and we don't need this timer, so let's remove it off from this side. So once we have created our end state logic, we should be moving under our login view, and under our login view, if you observe, on pressing over a button, we are now navigated to the next screen. But you know what, I can do one thing. First of all I should be going at the top, and here I will be initializing our pref service. So here I should be writing pref service underscore pref service, just like this, and now I should be coming at the bottom, and here I should be first of all initializing my pref service dot create cache. Now the cache will be nothing but a password, and under my login view I have a password controller as well. So here I can simply copy my password, and here I can simply cache my entire data, just like this. And you know what, our create cache method will be a future. So here I can add the phrase of when complete, and here I should be adding the following navigator. So let's paste it here. So instead of this I can simply add our push our named routes. So here let's have navigator dot all of following context, and here push route to our home route. Easy. Format document first. So now after pressing our elevated button, first of all we are creating a cache of password, and when the following thing is completed, we are now navigated to the next screen only if the following email or a password is not empty, and we are now navigated to our home route. So once we have navigated to our home route, let's go onto our home route, and here after pressing over our logout button, we are now transitioning back. So now what I can really do is remove this piece of line from this side, and let's go under our login view one more time. Yes, just the last time. Let's make this final, and here I can copy the following piece of line, go back under my home view and paste it here. Let's import our pref file, and here let's copy our pref service. Let's make the following process to be asynchronous, and here I can simply say pref service dot remove my cache of nothing but simply the password, and when the following process will be completed, we will be navigated back to our login screen. So for that navigation, let's copy the following navigator. Let's go back, paste it here, but here it should be having a login route. Easy. So now once the following thing will be completed, we will be good to go. Let's make this process to be under await state. So now let's try it out. So for trying it out, if I open my Google Chrome, here I have my entire setup. So now let me make it small here. So now first of all, let me enter my credentials. So here let's add my credentials of Abhishek and also some random password. And now after pressing over login, we are now navigated to our home screen, and if I reload my entire application once, you can see we are not navigated to our login screen, but we are now navigated to our home screen. And after pressing over logout, we are now navigated to our login screen, and if I reload my entire application once, we are not navigated to our home screen, but we are navigated to our login screen. Now this is the proper logic of shared preferences. Let me explain to you about what the thing that we have did so far. So first of all, under our main.dart file, we have initialized some routes, and if I go to my route, it will be containing some predefined routes. And after that, if I go under my pref service file, first of all, we are creating some cache. Now the cache shall be nothing but simply a small chunk of data. So we are creating the following chunk of data under a key value pair of password. After that, we are also reading the following chunk of data with the method of read cache. Under our read cache method, we are simply getting the string of password and also returning the following data. And under the method of remove cache, we are simply removing the entire cache that we have cached so far. And so if I go under my splash view, first of all, we are calling our read cache method of password, and after that we are getting a value. If we are getting a value which will be not be null, we are getting transition to our home route because we are already logged in under our application. Else we are transitioned to our login route, which will be our initial route, and so that we can determine that the value is not null. Now I can also do one thing, that is simply print value. Let's try doing this thing out, why not? So now if I reload my entire application once, let's make it here. Let's do one thing, open our terminal. So finally, let's try it out. So first of all, I will be entering my email and also some random password, and after that, after pressing over login, you can see we are now getting logged under our home screen. But if I reload my entire application once, instead of getting transition to our login screen, we are getting transition to our home screen. And if I log out from my application, you can see we are getting transition to our home screen. And if I reload my entire application once, we are getting transition to our login screen instead of getting transition to our home screen. And in this way, we have successfully decoded the following shared preferences thing under our Flutter web. Now don't worry, the following source code of our entire thing will be under description box. But remember one thing, you can also carry out the same process under your mobile application, and this is the proper architecture that you should be using under any application. So I hope you have loved this tutorial, and if you have loved so, please hit that like button. It will be awesome if you hit that like button, and also you can join our Discord server which is under description. So if you have loved this tutorial, hit that like button, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.